The White House now dealing with yet another major optics issue, thanks to first son Hunter Biden. It started on Tuesday after he agreed to plead guilty on 3 federal charges. Many considered it to be a sweetheart plea deal from the Department of Justice. And just 2 days later, Hunter was spotted at the White House's state dinner with Indian Prime Minister Modi. But earlier that day, an IRS whistleblower made some bombshell claims against the president and his son, suggesting that President Biden may indeed have known about his son's overseas dealings and alleging political corruption in the Hunter Biden tax probe. But instead of laying low and maybe keeping some distance during this period, Hunter Biden made yet another high-profile appearance, traveling to Camp David with his famous dad over the weekend. And now it appears the White House is attempting to dismiss these concerns.
Cameras were watching last night as the first son joined his father coming off the steps of Marine One into the White House. They were coming back from Camp David. The White House refusing to answer many reporters' questions about where things stand with the first son in regards to those congressional inquiries.
Question. It's not unusual for presidents to invite members of their family to official White House functions, like the state dinner last week. I'm curious, though, in light of some of the recent legal controversy, if the president communicated to members of his family not to conduct business on White House grounds. Can you tell us about any kinds of guardrails that are up?
So look, I'm going to be, again, very mindful because this is all connected to a case that the DOJ is currently overseeing. So I'm not going to comment on that specifically. But as you know, and we have laid out very early on in this administration, when it comes to ethics, when it comes to how we all kind of move about and how we respect clearly the government ethics here. This is an administration has been incredibly transparent on that and has put some very strict rules. And so I can speak to that. I can speak to how the president has moved forward in making sure that the people who work for him and himself are held to kind of a strict course of action. But I'm not going to speak to anything that's related to the case.
I'm going to anything about guardrails for the president's family?
I'm just not going to speak to anything that's related to this case.
Do any guardrails exist?
I'm not going to speak to anything that is related to this case. As you stated, there are we've had when it comes to ethics, we take that very, very seriously here in this administration. Thank you, everybody.
The Hunter Biden story, the scandal, the this, the that, it's also the story of a father's love. And Joe Biden has never and will never give up on his son Hunter, and will never treat him lesser than. And so he is a father first. Take it or leave it. That's who he is. That is part of his heart. There was 380 people at this dinner. It's not like Hunter was sitting at Merrick Garland's lap. It was a bunch of people, and I think part of the reason that Hunter Biden has been able to get out of addiction is because Joe Biden embraced him entirely, the entire time. Yeah. When he was vice president, when he was candidate, when he was out of office, and now as president.
And I was going to add to that.
When you're a clown, nobody takes you seriously.